Static buzz in the midnight air. Travic and Spooker in the gamer's lair. Loot drops falling like a neon rain. Pixel worlds driving us insane. Halo rings light up the fight. Sonic speed blurs through the night. Diablo's demons in the dungeon's breath. Path of Exile paths leading to death. Live farming gossip in the glow. Digital whispers in the flow. EverQuest dreams keep us alive. Dead by daylight screams collide. Talk of bosses grinding bones. Legends born in gaming zones. Quests that stretch beyond the frame. In this podcast we name the game. Controllers on the heartbeat song. Spooker's laugh keeps the vibe strong. Travic's words cut through the noise. Gaming tales from girls and boys. Loot farming gossip in the glow. Digital whispers in the flow. EverQuest dreams keep us alive. Dead by daylight screams collide. Controllers hum the heartbeat song. Spooker's laugh keeps the vibe strong. Travic's words cut through the noise. Gaming tales from girls and boys. The farming gossip in the glow. Digital whispers in the flow. EverQuest dreams keep us alive. Dead by daylight screams collide.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Loot Farming and Gossip, XD, where me, Spooker, and Travic, my co-host, get to dive into video games of all sorts. And this time, we're going to start with the new and most recent change to Path of Exile 2.
Megabonk. Towers.
Towers, yeah. There's a lot of controversy going on with the whole towers and changes with them. Is it good? Is it bad? I personally have only the information and knowledge from watching others and seeing what they say and what they're doing and what works and what doesn't work. But from my experience and knowledge of the game, I believe that it's a W for the fact that we don't have to go chasing towers, but it's also a W for other reasons. Now, Travic, you've had a decent amount of time to experiment with the different ways and different things with it, and right now you're running Ritual. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what you're doing and why you believe the tower change is for better or for worse?
Well, to understand things, we have to address the elephant in the room, right? So people are always going to be happy or unhappy. And a lot of the people that are unhappy with the changes, they're kind of warranted. So overall, when you did what you were doing, you would run around your map and you would find your 3 towers or 2 towers, and you would spend all this time looking for towers. And then just say it took about an hour. You do maps for we'll even be generous. We'll say, you go map to map to map for half an hour, and you would use stuff to jump all around. And then you would find this beautiful 3 tower setup, and you would get, say, 20 maps. But it took you a good 45 minutes to set up. But with 3 towers, you did get a lot more bang for your buck. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. You would get more bang for your buck.
More juice per map, right?
Yeah. But now with the tower changes, if you had gotten, I think it was something like 50, 60% quant. I'm sure somebody listening will correct me. And now it's down to 30. So in theory, you lost a lot on the 0.01% of level of juicing. But on the other hand, the tower change is really good for everybody else. So for people who are listening that play at the highest level, yes, we agree with you. Yes, it was nerfed. Yes, we have to believe that loot will get back to a stage where it's at, but is the changes or are the changes bad? I think the overall answer to are the changes bad is no, right? So in Path of Exile 1, when you would go and farm, it would be maps per hour. So I would go in, I would do my strat, I'd get my loot, I'd get out. I'd go in, I would do my strat, I'd get my loot, I'd get out. And we were very map per hour efficient oriented. I don't think Path of Exile 2 players have adapted to that mentality of gameplay. And I think Path of Exile 2 is going towards a mentality of gameplay. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, to me, it makes total sense, but that's probably coming from a perspective where I've played PoE 1, and that was one of my biggest issues that you actually helped me out with. Was it's not a matter of juicing one map to the biggest and baddest bonus that you could in PoE 1. It's like, yeah, I could do that, but my character, it would take me 10, 15 minutes to clear the map. Whereas in the same amount of time, you would have cleared 7 or 8 maps.
Yeah.
In theory, generating way more loot.
Yeah. So right now, with how the changes are, I go in, I do a map, and I leave a map in 3 to 5 minutes. And I can go map into map into map into map because I can pre-prep all of my maps now because tablets now have multiple uses. So a really good example is right before we started the podcast, I prepped 40 maps worth of materials. 40, not 10, not 20. I prepped 40 maps worth of materials. So I can now go into a map, clear my map, go into my next map, clear my next map, and I have everything prepped and ready to go. At the end of that 40 map cycle, pre 3.1 or a 0.3.1, at the end of that 40 map cycle, I'd have an hour of downtime or like 45 minutes of downtime.
Right.
And I would have to then go find this ideal tower setup again. So you're running all around the map, you're looking for towers, and that could take another half an hour, another hour, just however long you want to generously put it. But now in 0.3.1, at the end of that 40 map cycle, I spend 5 minutes and buy mapping materials and then just go again.
Right.
So while yes, there's less overall ground loot, very specific that term, ground loot, you see more maps per hour and you see more mobs per hour generating more overall loot in the long run.
And I'll chime in, even though I haven't had much experience with the new updates yet, because I've been busy behind the scenes. Even that will allow you to farm strategically, specifically what you're after in mapping, much better as well. So that's another thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration is where, if you're farming rituals for omens, right, for example, you're going to be able to hit way more omens per hour than the previous setup. So
it just kind of comes down to like how you're playing it and what you're doing. And I think a lot of people forget that, right? So what's really cool now is I can prep a 40 map setup for ritual. And I could be like 15 maps in, say 20 maps in, and I can be like, I'm bored. Now I go buy new tablets and I go run my next set of maps with, say, Breach. In previous setups or previous iterations, if I had a section of towers and I juiced my towers for ritual and I got bored, I then would have to go find new towers and have to go do new towers. And that was, it's disheartening. I don't want to do that.
I agree. I agree. And the cool thing with the precursors per map thing that I've noticed from just watching others was when you put the precursor in, it's a lot like scarabs, where it's basically a stack of up to 10 scarabs from Path of Exile 1, and it just stays in your map device, essentially, right? So that's another cool thing is that, you don't have to pick your specific precursors per each tower. Make sure they mesh well. You don't have to make sure you're not duplicating any bonuses. Otherwise, you're basically just missing out or adding them to maps that you don't really care about. So it overall does, in my eyes, the goal of Path of Exile 2's forefront, right? And that's simplifying the Path of Exile to the world of Rayclass for an entry-level user, which is awesome.
Yes.
And I love that. I can't wait to dive into it and actually test it out for myself.
And you don't have to worry, like, so like I did a map earlier today or 2 maps earlier today, and I put the wrong tablet in. It happens. I'm human, right?
Right.
And I realized it like 2 maps in, and I was like, oh, cool. And I like swap out the wrong tablet, put the right one in, and I don't have to worry about accidentally making that mistake. And now I'm not the only one who made that mistake. So like while I was streaming today, multiple people who were doing the original strategy that I was doing were like, hey, I tried doing this thing. It's not working the way you were doing it. What did I do wrong? And because I hadn't made that mistake, I knew what people were doing that was wrong. And I was able to be like, oh, I bet you did this. And they were all like, oh my God, we put the wrong tablet in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you had done that in the old setup with towers and you put the wrong tablet in, you're talking about 20, 30 maps.
That you just cooked.
Yeah. Yeah, that are just like, they're done for.
Yeah, which
Yep.
Overall, I think it's a great change. I think this whole nerf versus buff thing is really a perception on each player. In some cases, it can be a nerf, but in other cases, it can be a buff. But I think overall, not only is it a huge W getting rid of towers. Now, there is still some uses for towers. Mapping out areas for particular maybe map types or map zones that you like, whether it's like water based or the different textures because of the node on the Atlas tree.
You can also see where like the special maps are.
That too.
Like the Hanakora map and stuff.
There's a precursor that's still strictly for towers though, right? It's a unique one that allows you to travel to any node within range, right? That's still only usable on towers.
Don't know.
Okay.
I'd be lying if I said I knew.
Okay, and I don't know for 100%, but from some people that I've talked to and I've asked, that is still restricted to towers, which makes sense. You know, being able to put that on any map is kind of OP.
I do know that one is only one use, so that might be the case. But I personally have not had the opportunity to play or to like I haven't found one yet. I do know it's one use. I know people have mentioned that it's one use, but that's about as far as I know.
Okay.
So it would make sense that it like it's a tower only thing.
Right, which still gives towers a good use without making them mandatory, which is awesome because I liked towers and how they had their own unique layouts. They were their own type of thing. And you go in, you get this big radius and it's like, okay, do I go north, south, east, west, or which way in the middle? And it was a good concept, but I think the whole specifically orientating mapping around that and solely that was kind of what turned me off from mapping. So I think with this new setup, which I don't know if it's maybe a bandage for an issue that they want to fix in a different way or a better way, because I don't think
they've said they're changed. Like this is just part one of what's coming.
Okay, and that makes sense, yeah. Because I think they specifically also have said that they don't want to just basically degenerate into PoE 1 mechanics. They want to take what works from PoE 1 potentially and put it in a twist and make it into something new and unique and refreshing, which is cool. I love that they're not against bringing stuff from PoE 1.
Yep.
But they want to bring it in their own way.
No, that makes sense. I gotta tell you, in point 1, I love Path of Exile 2. I do. I'm very vocal about that. But in point 1, I didn't map. I just went into the Trial of the Chemist or Sanctum. In point 2, I didn't want to map. I just went into the Trial of the Chemist and just did maps. Now we're in point 3. When point 3 came out, once again, mapping felt bad. I didn't want to map. I went back to Sechemis.
Mm-hmm.
Now in 3.1 or 0.3.1, I did my first like real mapping video, and that was this ritual strat that you were talking about earlier.
Great video, by the way.
Thanks. And dude, I like prepped 40 more maps. Like that's cool. Like
I love it. I love the idea. Yeah, I love the idea behind it.
Like it's cool. I'm very overall excited about it. I can't wait to do more of it. It's a lot of fun so far. So yeah,
that's actually been one of my biggest issues with the game so far. So I'm glad that it's changing. I'm glad that I got to experience their potential thought of trying the concept of towers and trying to make it work. And they did different changes. They buffed things. They added some things. But overall, every time I went back to mapping, I just didn't like it. I mapped a bunch when it launched. And then I got bored. And that's when I went on the whole hardcore spiel. I went down and probably made about a dozen to 15 warriors, because that's what I love doing. You know, you tell me it's bad, I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna make it good or try and prove you wrong, even if I fail at it. That's what I enjoy about Path of Exile.
What's crazy to me is all of the people who were like so against towers and so vocal about it, but now that it's changed, they're all like, this is bad. So like, how are you so against this? And then they do what you ask and they change it. And then you're like, now we're not happy because we got so much more doing this other thing. Like, is it A or B? Which one is it? Like, you can't have your cake. Like, you're trying to have your cake and eat it too right now.
It's,
you know,
but you and I both know, coming from a content creator perspective, that you're never going to please everyone. There's always going to be those people that are what we call the doomers or the doom and gloomers. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that they're normally the more vocal ones of the group, but as with anything and anywhere, even in life itself, you know, my grandmother has this magnet that's stuck with me for a long time, and it's like, when you do something bad, nobody ever forgets. They remember it forever. But the moment that you do something good, nobody cares. It's just that's what you should do, right? That's nobody remembers. And it's a harsh reality, but at the same time, you can still be vocal about the good things. That's why I always emphasize to at least my community and the people that I talk to and hang out with is that if you have feedback for the game, for GGG, leave it. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, feedback is what will shape the game. And if you like something, let them know, because for all you know, there could be 10% of the community that also likes it, but none of you guys speak up about liking it. And then the 90% that are indifferent or dislike it speak up, and it gets changed, it gets removed, it gets deleted, you know, like, and that's been known to happen in games and they destroy their community because the part of the community that enjoyed some of the things in the game never spoke up, because when it's good, well, why do I need to say anything about it? But take this as a lesson. You should. Even good feedback needs to be left, especially during early access.
I mean, they've already showed, like, everything that they've been doing for the last X amount of months or patches or updates is literally showing that they're actively trying to listen to what we have to say, right? Like, granted, not everything is like perfect, but a lot of it is just a really good step in the right direction of like, we didn't like this. Okay, so they changed it, you know? And people just don't want to give them, I don't want to say don't want to give them a chance, but like, they're really striving for cool changes and really interesting updates. So I'm overall excited to see what comes.
Yeah, me too. And one cool thing that I do like about GGG is that however they are taking the criticism and the feedback that they get, they still keep their foot fairly firm on the ground with their ideas until they realize that, like, even in their shoes, they don't like where it's going. So, for example, the combo system. They've been pushing that from the launch of the game, and they're still pushing it, which I'm fine. I love the combo system, but there was an issue with it when we were restricted by the support gems we could use. But they lifted that to make comboing feel so much better and actually have an effect to where if I use this skill to combo with this skill, I still get good effect, but I get even better effect by using the combo, which is cool, and I love it. However, I can't wait to see what comes in the future. Good, bad, and indifferent. And I'm glad that I'm here for the ride. But another thing that I did want to bring up really shortly, which we've discussed this a lot in the past, is a lot of people keep forgetting, because it is such a well done early access, that it is exactly that. It is early access. So the feedback and the criticism, good, bad, and indifferent, is very, very important during these stages of the game. So, yeah, and I love it.
I think a lot of people just want another PoE 1, but it's really cool to see the evolution of the game in a different light. Granted, if it ends up devolving into PoE 1, which is fine too, I still would rather see it attempt to have its own identity than to just be a carbon copy of Path of Exile.
True.
That's what it sounds like everybody wants. Everybody's like, oh, but we just have scarabs. But why do you want scarabs when you can you have this beautiful opportunity, this absolutely stunning opportunity to try something new? And I'll tell you, while like tablets are different, they're kind of cool. Like it's such an interesting concept. I definitely think they need some sort of tweaking or some sort of change. I don't know what that tweak is or what that change is yet, but like it's, after playing with it for like a day, it's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be.
Right, especially coming from someone that has learned the PoE 1 lesson of, the quantity over quality was ultimately the better of the two, even though a lot of people still will preach on, rarity, quality. So yeah, no, I totally get it. No, I mean, I'm open to a lot of different things and what they're going to do in their direction, and I'm willing to try it before I just go, nah, I don't want it.
So you have to try it. You have to, like you said, you have to give it a fair shot, and you have to provide feedback, whether good or bad, and why it was good or bad. I've heard a lot over the last 24 hours, like, I hate towers. I'm like, why? And they're like, well, they nerfed ground loot. Well, okay. What would make it better? And nobody has that answer.
Right.
Nobody has that answer.
Right. They only know what they don't like. They don't even always know why. But I will say, with precursor tablets, which are the quote unquote scarabs from PoE 1, they're not. Right. And in my eyes, and I just know what they were. I know there's been some changes to them, but in reality, like, when a scarab drops and you read the name of the scarab, you know exactly what it does. You know the exact amount. It's going to be the same every single time. Right.
Yep.
With precursor tablets, it's not. And you can actually influence them to make them different than just your general precursor tablet, regardless of the precursor type. So it's, again, one of those things where we take an idea from PoE 1 that worked, influenced the idea in PoE 2, and make it different and unique, and it feels impactful. And like I said, I can't wait to actually get in there tonight and dive into testing and trying, because I finally got my my Smith-Catawba warrior to maps.
Nice.
I just need some levels.
I don't think a lot of people know that you can even get like rare tablets that are like 3 modded.
That's I heard of that. How? Enlighten me, please.
You do the Uber Arbiter.
Okay.
The fight that requires the Citadel parts. You do the Citadel parts, and like rare tablets fall from him.
Okay, so it's just one of those rare drops. Is it restricted to Arbiter?
Yes, it's restricted to that specific version of the fight.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew of rare tablets. I had no idea where to get them though.
And Citadels are a lot. You see a lot of Citadels, man.
I have not seen a single Citadel yet. I haven't played since 0.3.1.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was, although if you look at my mapping, you'd be like, you haven't even really mapped. I have. I was more focused on clearing out what maps I did have, because I got some lucky tower start locations. I had like a cluster of 3 right by the start. I had a cluster of 2 right by the start. I had a cluster of 4 right by the start, and then I had another cluster of 3 right by the start. So I'm still
that's terrible, right? Like, you have these like towers and maps, and it's all clustered, and you get no opportunity to like explore.
Mm-hmm.
right? You're literally describing the problem. Like, I didn't map. I just did this cluster of stuff and then this other cluster of stuff and this other cluster of stuff. Now, if you had this tablet change forever ago, it wouldn't matter that you did a cluster of maps or another cluster of maps or another cluster of maps, because you were able to just benefit from what you were doing where you were doing it.
Right. And that's another reason that, you know, they have this whole endless atlas idea, right? But yet most people are focusing on these focal points rather than actually like exploring the whole idea of exploring, which I would love to see in mapping, though, some more uniqueness, you know, where like more unique maps. And when I mean unique maps is not like the quality, unique, rare magic, but just more unique style maps, you know, like towers. They're a unique style of map. It's very similar, very linear, but I think that will come in time, as with anything. But they've done a great job with the changes that came out in 0.3, and I'm stoked. I literally have not been so ready and willing to play Path of Exile 2 for a while. I literally 0.2. I enjoyed 0.2 for a decent amount of time, but nothing compared to 0.1. Yep. So it's one of those things that, like, I'm glad that fire is burning back inside to where there's a lot more diversity of builds that you can do with all the new changes and everything coming. And like I said, I'm ready to experience it some more.
Yeah, it's good. It's really, really, really good. I think as soon as people, I really think it's gonna be one of those things where like everybody's gonna be like, oh my God, this is so bad, this is terrible. And then their favorite content creator is gonna be like, oh my God, did you see this cool? Oh my God, dude, oh God, it was so good. And then everybody's gonna be like, oh my God, see, it was great. And be like, bro, like 48 hours ago, you were crying that you were homeless or some bullshit. Now all of a sudden it's good. Get the hell out of here.
Homeless is good.
I really think that if people just gave it the slightest chance and like actually like put bias aside and like looked at it for what it's supposed to be doing, they would be shocked at how like what it does.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't doubt it.
You just approach mapping from a different perspective. And I heard this from a lot of people, and they're like, well, I used to be able to do all content all the time, fully juiced however I wanted. And I was just like, but you weren't. And they were like, nope, I was able to do all the content forever, period. And I was just like, how? And they were like, oh, all the quantity on the map let me just do whatever I want, whenever I wanted, however I wanted. And I was just like, but quantity didn't affect your rituals. Quantity didn't affect your essences. You know, like there are so many things that quantity didn't do. And they're like, well, it affected my breaches. And I was like, wouldn't you want more pack size? Am I crazy here? I'm like, well, what about like my overall rituals? And I was like, don't you just want pack size there too? Like, quantity's good for ground loot. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm never going to disagree with you that quality's not good for ground loot, but like, I don't think it's the be all end all.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe somebody could shed some better light on it and like help enlighten me. Because like I'm open to that I'm wrong. Like I'm very open to that I'm wrong.
Oh, I love that aspect, right? Yeah, you know, please prove me up that I'm wrong and help me know better. Like that, I'm totally for that idea.
Because there's the opportunity that like we're missing something, right? Like something minute because we didn't do it. So.
Yeah. No, I mean.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. I think there was one thing that I would like to see it coming to Path of Exile 2 is exactly that. Like a lot of people are so leaning towards, pack size or quantity or rarity, and there's the different ones. What I would like to see with those things is that give us, and I'm sure this will come in time, but this is some of the feedback that I would like to give out there and maybe get your guys' opinions on my opinions, which would be nice. The different things actually have a good impact on different content. For example, like rituals, quantity would be, more impactful to that. Maybe quantity affects the number of things that are in your window, for example, right?
Sure.
Just getting more impact from each of those map affixes. They're not actually the affixes, though. They're like the bonus affixes, I guess you could say. Getting more impact from those on all the different content that's in the game. I think that would be a really good feeling rather than just always pushing for the one that benefits the majority of everything the most.
I've heard from a few people that I thought was a really good idea. Is just put the evasion. Thinking about mapping and what I want to do with my stupid Titan. I'm going to make a Titan, dude. I got this really cool staff that I'm going to put on him, and it's going to be like an Ember Fusillade, but it's not going to be an Ember Fusillade, but it's going to use the staff from Coolamak, but that's a story for another day. And I'm like, oh my God, am I
So you're
actually
making a
building this guy?
Mario.
Yeah, I just don't know if I want to play him as armor or if I want to play him as evasion. I've been racking my brain for the last couple of minutes because there's also the evasion change of the patch that
What evasion change did I miss?
Oh God, geez, they nerfed overall evasion by 5%, but everybody now has a base. So everybody now has a base 5% evasion, but the top end of evasion was reduced. So like if you were 85% when you logged in beforehand, and then 3.1 came out, or 0.3.1 came out, and now you're not 85, you're at 80 because everybody got 5% base. So it's like a nerf on the super high end, but it's a buff on the super low end, especially for things like the campaign.
Okay.
And somebody earlier today was just like, oh, but evasion can dodge ground effects, but my armor is so bad. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, oh my God, dude, like what the hell's going on? And we're talking about maps, and I'm sitting here, I'm just totally in no man's land. And I'm thinking about my original point, now that I've completely sidetracked, was what if they just put quantity back on the map? Like on the base maps, what if you just give base quantity on all the maps?
When you add quality to them?
Yeah. Like, give us the chisels, give us quality. That might be problem solved. Everybody's happy.
I mean, it's a potential. I mean, I see them giving us something to that effect. It may not be exactly chisels. It might be some other form of it. But yeah, I definitely see. I think that's probably another one of the complaints that I see a lot, is that maps are very particular as to the affixes that you run, and it's you either have like these set affixes that just brick your build, or there's no affix that bricks your build. And to me, I feel like there should always be an affix that's going to brick your build or make the map extremely more difficult, if that's a better way of putting it. Like, obviously, if you have such a ridiculously powerful defense and offense character we're talking like multi-mirror tier gear across the board, then yeah, you're going to be able to accomplish some of the content, even with the restrictions, like Delirious 80%, reducing your damage by 80%.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a lot of changes, I'm sure, that are coming as well, and they're always cooking up some wonderful, wonderful things.
People just need to be patient, like one change at a time. And this is why I was so vocal about. I think the tower changes are really good, right? But I think they came at the wrong time. Granted, yes, they came in the middle of the league. Yes, it was an early surprise. Yes, I'm sure they want to test them, but I think the tower changes don't get the proper test that they need without resetting the Atlas. And I don't think the tower changes get the proper test they need without resetting the economy. And I think people hate that idea, but you can't see the positive or negative impact of these changes until a reset happens.
I agree.
Like, you're never going to know, was this a good or bad change? On paper, it sounds like a really good change. To the majority of non like high-end players, this is a great thing. Like, this is fantastic. But is this at the end of the day really that good of a change? Does it have, what kind of like impact does it have on the trade-based side of it? And, you know, to anybody who's listening that says like, oh, but I play SSF, like, I understand you play SSF. I understand SSF is a game mode, but the game is based around trade. The whole concept of the game is based around trade. So like, what is the long-term impact of making towers and loot, like ground loot, like less? There's a world where if everything was reset, this change made the economy healthier, made loot better, made things more valuable, which is what you want in the long run, right?
Right.
But we don't know. And there are people like Arrow and Local Hall, big shout outs to both of them, who are trying to like make private leagues to go test this. But you're not going to get, you're going to get like, just say 500 people, 1,000 people, 2,000 people, and they're all like, this is great. But that's not the grand scheme of things when there's like hundreds of thousands of people playing Path of Exile 2.
Yep.
Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just like spurting out nonsense, but I really think that like the 0.3.1 change should have came with a reset, whether it's at the start of next league or if they were like, hey, look, we're going to start a new league right now and run it alongside of this. Like, you have the opportunity to start over.
Right. Yeah, and honestly, that would have been a good option. Like, if you want to start a new league, we can do 0.3.1 in a separate sub league, right? Or you can continue on the 0.3.1. Because while I agree with you, there's going to be a large majority of people that would be, oh, you reset me? Okay, I'll come back next league. And that's
fine, because it's early access. And a lot of players, and there's going to be people who are going to hear this and they're going to be real mad at me. There's a lot of players who need to accept and understand that it's early access and they should be constantly resetting it. They should be constantly changing things. They should be constantly buffing things. They should be constantly nerfing things. It should be constant. Like I've been saying this since point one. If you wake up in the morning and your build is not nerfed or dead or destroyed, it is a good morning.
Yep.
Like, you should, and I know people hate that because they're gonna be like, oh, well, what if, like, I'm a parent, I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, yes, I get it. I do. I sympathize with you. But early access and all of our testing should lead to faster changes, and it's not.
I agree, but I think that they're turning their table for that, and I think we saw that here with the tower change, because they cut it. It didn't quite make the 0.3, but they're like, this is a change that we want to get tested on. Now, with you like-minded, you know, we didn't get a reset, but they pushed it out after launch, which was a surprise to me. I was like, I really did not see that coming to begin with.
I didn't see that coming at all. That was not something that was not on my bingo list.
Nope. So I do have to give it to them that I believe they are pushing for more changes faster, which is overall going to be a much better, and will also allow them to keep up with their timeline of the expected launch by early
Christmas?
Next year.
I think it's supposed to be by the end of this year.
Well, it's very possible. I would not put it past them, because they have already confirmed that they're okay with launching the game fully without having all the classes in the game, which, in my opinion, is a good thing, right? Because then not only do you get all these extra players coming in to test I won't say test, because we're testing it now, but coming in to try their new game, they'll get more feedback from all these free players that just aren't playing because they're not going to pay for it. I think that we will definitely hit some crazy numbers when they go free.
There was a guy today who came by and he was like, can you just tell me a little bit about the lore for PoE 2? And I was like, why, what's up? And he's like, I played PoE 1. It's great, but I don't have the $30. You know, like, I would love to play Path of Exile 2 and I just don't have the $30. And, you know, like, chat got him a code, which is like, big shout out to Pando for getting this guy a code. But like, I've seen that a few times already, where people are like, I just can't. I get it, man. $30 is a lot of money, especially in today's economy with everything going on. Like, I sympathize. So yeah, I would love to see the game just go free to play at this point. You know, it's been what, like a year at this point? Maybe.
Not quite. December 6th will be a year. So we're roughly 2 months shy. So 10 months roughly.
Right.
Almost 10 months.
Yeah, I would love to see the game go. Would love to see the game go free to play at this point.
So this is just a guess.
Sure.
But I think that was one of the reasons that they postponed the Druid, to make sure that everything is perfect and everything is in working fashion. They've already said that the biggest disaster of the Druid is not that the Druid isn't ready, but the animations that come with the Druid, like
Sure.
walking in different directions as the bear or walking in different directions as the wolf. Is that allowed? Can we walk backwards as the bear? Can we walk backwards as the wolf? Or do we turn you around? You know, all these just animation disasters that come with the Druid and being the whole shapeshifter. So
things that you don't think about when you're not a like,
right. You
as a
just
player.
you just want to play the game. I just want to play Druid. I have so many friends that literally are not playing this league.
Yep.
Only because the Druid didn't come.
You and me both. Yes,
So,
sir.
anyways, where I'm going with that is that I would not be shocked. Like I would be totally like, okay, I kind of saw this coming. Them launching the game, since December is the next quote unquote league.
Yep.
And they've confirmed Druid is coming in 0.4.
Did they? Where'd they say that?
Well, they didn't 100% confirm, but
you got it. You're going to give a lot of hopes to a lot of people right now.
Well, they've said they cut it for 0.3 to make sure it was ready by 0.4. So that's not saying, hey, it's coming, but that's basically saying.
Did they say it was the Druid? They said they cut a class.
No. In some of the interviews that Darth Microtransaction had that he wasn't able to release until the info dropped, they actually said early on in 0.3, like, we cut the Druid because we knew if we cut the Druid, we could accomplish so much more. So yes, they confirmed it was the Druid that got cut, which is basically where I'm going. Like they've basically confirmed that the next class to be coming will be 0.4, which I would be surprised if we get more than one class with how much time we have.
I think we'll
see. But with that being said, that's my prediction is that they wanted to hit that year mark, and they said that according to timelines and everything that they're going, outside of having all the classes ready, I would not be surprised if they decide to go free to play early December with the launch of the Druid and another major, which I think the one class group we're missing from is the Strength Intelligence class, right? Which would be the Druid and the Templar. Because we have two classes from each group. So we'd get the Druid, and I hope that we get something with swords or axes as well. But
I would like a new weapon type. I'm right there with you, man. I would love a new weapon type right about now.
It's bogus because, like, when I think about the Druid, I think, like, we already have his weapons in the game, right? Because we have staves, which are like spellcaster staves, and we have the spellcaster wands, which is what a Druid is, right? A shape-shifting is a spell, right? And even if I'm shape-shifted and I cast an attack, it may still be classified as a spell, or it might be one of those double dippers where we bring, spell and attack damage buffs them. So we'll see.
I want the shadow
daggers. Have you heard anything or seen anything about claws? Because I was looking at the weapon list the other day, and they actually have like all the weapons in the list, and daggers not daggers. Claws were not on that list. Now, obviously, they're just placeholders, so it could just be we don't really want to disclose some extra information yet. But as far as I can tell, there's no word on claws, which would kind of be disappointing. I always loved that.
I've not seen a claw yet. I've seen daggers. We know there's daggers. I've seen traps, but I've not seen a claw. Yeah,
traps and daggers, flails, swords, axes. Mm-hmm. Is there any other I'm missing? Swords, axes, flails, daggers. I think that's the 4 that we're missing. And then we have the category for primal, which is the druid, obviously, which I think will be just like the elementalist or the sorcerer or the witch or whatever, where they're spellcasters, so they use the spellcaster weapon. But we'll see.
Makes sense.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited overall.
Yeah, no,
I think there's a lot of good changes. A lot of good things are coming.
Oh, I'm super excited. I'm even more stoked to see what kind of things they're going to bring into the mechanics of Path of Exile 2 without just downright copying Path of Exile 1. And I like how they're even the stuff that has come from Path of Exile 1, they've shifted, adjusted, or tweaked to make it its own thing in Path of Exile 2, which is cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be a really interesting time.
Yes. Okay. Enough about Path of Exile 2. Okay. I love the game. Absolutely am a fan. As you can see, we just went like balls deep into talking about Path of Exile 2 for a good chunk. So there's a few new games out recently that I wanted to bring up in this episode. One of them being one that you are currently playing, that you played today.
Damn it. Also really good.
Which is Megabonk. I've seen it going around, and I actually got a first experience of actually watching some of the gameplay today, watching you. The whole idea of it, Risk of Rain, the Hades 2, Hades 1 style gameplay, where you basically go into a level, you unlock these things as you progress through the game, but when you die, it's over. You start over. It's basically hardcore in a level scenario, right? I first caught wind of it through Darth Microtransaction. I didn't know what game he was talking about, and I kind of listened because, as you know, while I'm at work, I can't watch. I can only have audio because I drive and I have to read mail and all that stuff. So needless to say, I heard a lot of it. There was a lot of hype going on it. I was even watching Shroud, and he basically said, like, there's plenty of other games that I would love to be playing right now, but I'm just addicted. This game is so fun. I can't break away from it. And I was like, that was like the fifth person I've heard say that. So
I have had a hard time doing non-Megabonk things. It's really good, man. That's
great, right? That's the greatest thing that a gamer can hear is a game that, like, not just an addicting aspect, but it's addictingly fun, right? Like, you're enjoying the game. It's not addicted because, I got to log in and get this login reward bullshit for 5 minutes or some shenanigans like that. So now that we are talking about it, why don't you go ahead and share with us the experience you've had and what makes it so fun and addicting to you?
Well, okay, so I've never played Risk of Rain.
Okay.
And I didn't like Hades. So that's like weird to say. So I never really got.
Hades is more of a flat 2D style, where this one is like it takes that and brings it into a 3-dimensional style, which can make or break a lot of people. A lot of people won't play games just because of graphics. If it doesn't look good to me, I don't want to play it, right? So
I did play a lot of. I liked Vampire Survivors a lot. I thought Vampire Survivors was really, really, really good. I played a lot of Vampire Survivors, and
you played Hellclock too, right?
I played Hellclock. Hellclock was good.
It was similar. Similar idea, but not identical. But similar concepts.
Similar idea. Yeah. I just didn't like the end game of Hellclock. I thought Hellclock overall was really good, but I didn't like the end game of Hellclock. So like that kind of like kills the game for you. But how do I want to describe this? It's a quirky 3D Vampire Survivors with a leaderboard that you can battle your friends on. Specifically, you can, like, anybody on your Steam's friend list, you can battle them. So it gets really fun really fast when, like, you can, like, how do I describe this? My buddy Jingles messaged me and said, I got so many kills. And I was like, damn it, you passed me. Jingles went to bed and he woke up to me messaging him saying, haha, I passed you.
Love it. The competitive aspect.
I went to bed and I woke up to my buddy Will going, haha, I passed you. But he didn't just like slightly pass me. he like obliterated past me.
Right.
So like now when we end this podcast today, like I'm thinking about like how am I gonna go farm? How am I gonna go catch up to Will? What's my plan gonna be? I gotta catch up to this guy. Like he's laughing to the bank. He has a lot. He's like, I don't need to play today. I'm so far ahead of you. And like that factor just like it's like, oh my God. Like what the hell, you know? So you have characters to unlock, weapons to unlock, different levels to unlock, and it's just this really interesting like feat of like things. Like there's one challenge and it's like just AFK for a round. Don't move, don't touch the character, don't do anything, just AFK. And the only thing you can do is accept the level up rewards. So like you're like, oh, that's easy. It's not. It's
right.
so difficult. And there's another one that's like, oh, you're like 1/10 of your size, enemies move faster. And you're like, all right, that's kind of cool. And it's so hard. And then there's like all kinds of weird strategies where you like, you want to scale the difficulty of the monsters, but you don't want to scale the difficulty of the monsters, but you want to like get certain loot and you want certain combinations of weapons, but you only want them at certain times. And you need certain tomes to benefit certain weapons, but only at certain times. And then you only level up this weapon when you have this item. But if you don't have this item, you hunt for that item. And it's just like, it's the simplicity of a looter shooter Vampire Survivors, but the complexity of like an ARPG, which is wild.
So you're telling me that because I don't know much about it.
You will not log back into any other game until major updates for that game.
That's not where I was going, but great answer. No, you're telling me that not only do you get perks for leveling, but you actually have like a selection of items that you get for leveling, or these are things you find?
So there are weapon slots and tome slots. Weapons they speak for themselves. Like you can get like a katana, a shotgun, a revolver, a sword, a black hole. Like there's all these different weapons that you can get that are really cool. And then there's tomes, and there's like more projectile tome, faster attack speed tome, experience tome, luck tome, like all these things that like give you passive benefits. Then there's items. There's chests all over the place, and you can choose when to open the chests, and they have like green tier items, blue tier items, purple tier items, and then gold tier items. I don't remember I think it's like common, uncommon.
Your general ARPG categories with maybe different names, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So you spend a lot of your time debating when you want to open the chest. How many chests can you open? There's a vendor that can sell you things that can spawn randomly on the map. There's tiki skulls from Easter Island that can spawn on, and you have to decide if you want to like take the item off of it or if you want to re-roll it. There's items that give you poison. There's items that give you leech if you have poison. Like there's just a large variety of different things that you can do. And like, if I don't find this item, then that item's bad. And you spend a lot of your time like scouting around for different items and different things.
Or you learn that you just need to take the XP tome right off the rip, right?
Yeah, I had that problem today. Yeah.
I heard that. That was pretty funny. I like how they turn the whole, what is it called? The category of the game. Roguelike, I think, is the category that you kind of call it. They take the roguelike, they not only turn it 3D, but they turn it into where it's the roguelike, 3D roguelike that you can go down an absurd amount of different paths, and each choice that you make while progressing through said path determines what said path you are aiming for along the way. That's deep. I like it. I don't want to call it writer's block, because there's so many good games out right now that are just like, I have I won't say trouble, like, but it can be a little bit difficult when I start up and I have free time and I'm not busy and I get to choose a game, and it's like, I only have right now, because I just got a new PC, I only have like 6 games installed on my PC right now. But I'm like, I love every single one of those 6 games, and it's like I'll sit there for a good 5 to 10 minutes, like which one do I want to play? Because they're all so good.
Yeah. Well, just don't worry. Just wait. There's Silent Hill F, and then that one's good too. There's just it's so rough right now.
It is.
So rough right
There's
now.
a new game. I don't want to ruin. I don't think this will ruin. But there's a new game. It's called. Here, I think I can pull it up on my phone.
Is it called OD?
No. It's Meat something. Meat King of Meat. It's a funny name. Yeah.
So while you're looking that up, you know how Silent Hill F just came out?
Yeah.
You know Silent Hill's like Hideo Kojima and Konami, the whole 9 yards?
Yeah.
Did you know that the day Silent Hill came out, supposedly Hideo Kojima released his new game trailer?
Wow. Well, it's the
And,
same thing with Megabonker. It came out on the same day as something else that was like super popular. He was warned not to launch it on that day, but look at it. Like Megabonk is doing great.
Megabonk came out the same time as Hades 2, and Hades 2 got. I don't have the numbers in front of me to prove it, but I've been told that Megabonk is one of the reasons that Hades 2 didn't do as well as it did. But Hideo Kojima released a video for his upcoming horror game that looks exactly like PT, which is the old Silent Hill game, the day that Silent Hill came out. So
what are the odds? I'm telling you, man, this is the year of the war of devs. Like just small example back to the whole Path of Exile 2 and Last Epoch things that have gone down as well. It's just like the devs are just coming in with ferocity and war-like mentality. It's like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna. Needless to say, the name of the game actually is called King of Meat, and it's I do this thing called Co-op Sundays with my buddy Gurney, and I saw this game pop up on my feed, and dude, I really don't get like new things. This must be a change that has happened in the last few weeks on YouTube. I typically don't get new things that pop up on my feed very often. But Megabonk has popped up on my YouTube feed now, and this King of Meat game popped up on my YouTube feed, and it's a 4-player co-op. Like what in King of Meat, contenders and dungeon creators alike are the superstars at the center of the biggest entertainment TV show in Loragok. Prepare to battle up to 5 days prior to launch, which is October 2nd, which would be today. When you pre-order the game, and I saw that, and I saw the gameplay, and it's got that good co-op feel, but definitely I already messaged my co-op partner. He's like, dude, that game looks sick. I'm down. Let's do it. So
that's awesome.
So that'll be fun. But the amount of new games and contenders that are stepping into the ring this year has just been insane. You got Borderlands 4 that just launched. Have you had a chance to play Borderlands 4 yet?
I haven't. It's installed. I was going to play Borderlands 4 and then, Megabonk. I hate to say it, dude. I know it's funny, but that's literally what happened. I installed Borderlands 4. I got it ready to go, and I'm getting ready to play it. And my buddy's like, "Have you seen Megabonk?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Dude, I'm so addicted to it." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "I hate Vampire Survivor games." I was like, "Dude, I love Vampire Survivor games." He goes, "Dude, this game ruined my life." And I was like, "When did it come out?" He goes, "Like 18 hours ago." And I was just like, "How has it ruined your life already?" And he's like, "You got to buy it." So I said, "Deal. I'll buy it next paycheck." So, like streamers, we only get paid, once a month.
Right.
So I already you put your money to the side, you pay your bills, so forth and so on. So I was just like, awesome, I'll pick it up in like 3 weeks. Cause I also had Borderlands and stuff. And my buddy was like, open Steam. And I was like, ugh. So now he buys me this game and I'm like, all right, let me try it. It's rude to not try it.
Right.
It would be rude. So I turn it on and I'm just like, what the hell did I just play? Like, what is this? And I play one round, and I'm just like, huh, that's kind of cool. I was like, let me play another round. Play another round. And I'm like, huh, I locked a new character. And I play another round. And I'm like, oh, this character's sweet. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh God, there's no time for Borderlands anymore. Like, I want to. Yeah. But Borderlands looks really good. Borderlands looks really, really, really good. I really want to play Borderlands.
It is good, and I was in the same boat with Borderlands 4. I was like, I can't buy it on launch. But I will end up buying it eventually. And same thing happened to me. One of my buddies was like, well, here, now you have no excuse not to play it, and he gifted it to me, which is awesome. Shout out to Saint Salter for that. He got it for me. We played on launch day, and it's been a blast. And that's actually one of the 6 games that's installed on my PC right now. So I think, let me see if I can name them. Trine 4, which is one of the co-op games I'm going down with Gurney. We've done all the Trine series games, which is actually a really cool co-op game, side-scroller puzzle game. Mm-hmm. If you guys are into that type of game style, side-scroller puzzle game, there's 3 characters. There's a warrior with sword and shield. There's a wizard, which builds objects to basically help solve puzzles. And there's a rogue, which has a bow and arrow and a grapple. Really fun side-scroller puzzle solver in it. And each game, it just gets better. Needless to say, Trine 4 is one of them that's installed in my game. Borderlands 4, Path of Exile 2. Yep. I almost don't want to say the next one, but yeah, the whole meme D4 bad. But as you can see, I still wear the hat.
I hear such good things about this D4 right now.
They. Outside of the chaos armor, they didn't really, from what I understand, they didn't really add a ton of like new endgame content, which has been the story of D4's life, to be honest. But I've heard that they've adjusted a lot of the endgame mechanics in meaningful ways to where it's actually beneficial to go do each categories of those end games, whether it's the nightmare dungeons, the boss grinding, the hordes, the hell tides.
Right.
There's meaningful reasons to go do those things. And then they introduced this new concept, which is chaos armor. And for those of you that don't play Diablo 4, in comparison to Path of Exile or other action RPGs, it would be like taking any unique item. For example, we'll say a unique helmet, taking that unique helmet's stats and attributes and allowing it to roll on one of 5 other categories. So it could roll on your gloves, it could roll on boots, it could roll on pants, it could roll on chest armor. So it's basically allowing you to free up that slot, for example, for like a mythic unique, like Shaco, Harlequin Crest. A lot of people wanted to wear that.
I can get a unique and throw it on another piece of gear, and that's like 2 pieces of gear together.
No. Chaos armor takes that unique and it rolls. It becomes chaos armor because that unique helmet, right? It's a unique helmet. It's always a helmet, unique helmet, right? As chaos armor drops, that unique helmet is no longer a helmet. That unique helmet can drop in one of the other slots. So it's just modifying that unique into another slot. So it's the same unique, just instead of wearing it on your head in your helmet spot, you now wear it on your chest piece in your chest slot. Just allowing.
So if my chest is really bad, I could just get a unique, turn it into chaos armor, and then replace.
Right. If for example, the biggest complaint that I personally had was with the druid. You, for the most part, your unique helmet slot was taken up because most of the good unique items for the druid that were build defining were in the helmet slot. So now I can get that unique helmet and its attributes. So what was build defining about that unique we take that helmet slot, I take it away. Now I can wear the Shaco, the Harlequin crest on my helmet, and now I'm wearing those helmet attributes on my gloves or my chest or my pants or my boots. It's just allowing you to utilize different uniques in different slots. Opening up that slot, which I'm actually like kind of intrigued in that. I like that idea because that was one of the big turnoffs in some of the builds in the different classes. So, but I've always said D4 is good. The only reason that D4 has the D4 bad meme is because they're not doing what some of the other competitors are in the game. They're at this stage in it, I believe that they're still working on making sure their actual itemization of the game is in a good spot before they completely move on. And the biggest D4 bad meme of them all is it's Diablo 4 and there's no Diablo in your game. Shame on you. Shame on you.
I agree.
Outside of that, though, the campaign and the story mode and the fundamentals of the game are absolutely great. I've had a blast every time that I have played, and all the mechanics that I have done have been great. Absolutely great. And I will go back and I will play it some more. And this season is actually one of them that I might dive into sooner than later. Might be off stream, but I'm still going to dive in there. It's installed. One of the 6. But there's another game that I saw when I went to install Diablo 4, and this is a big one for a lot of you Diablo lovers or Blizzard old school franchise lovers. For those of you that have the Game Pass for Xbox, they do have the PC version.
Don't call it the Game Pass. So no, there's so much controversy with Game Pass right now.
Well, good, bad, or indifferent, whether you like it, whether you hate it, I don't care. I'm just putting information out there. If you do have the Game Pass, Warcraft 1 remastered, Warcraft 2 remastered, Warcraft 3 remastered, Diablo 1 remastered, Diablo 3, and Diablo 4 are all currently on the Game Pass, along with many other titles.
That's pretty cool.
The classic games, which is a subset of games, if you guys remember oh gosh, what was it? The Lost Vikings. Lost Vikings is also on there.
Yeah, that was good.
That's also on the Game Pass right now and available to be played. And there was a game that I was following that I did start playing last night. Actually, out of all the games that I was like I could play, I installed Avowed. And Avowed is... I've heard a lot of bad things about it, and I honestly, with the couple hours that I got to play, I don't understand why. But I don't know. Maybe that'll come down the road. I don't know. But it's a game where you basically have your different classes. You can choose strength based. I think early on, right? You choose your origin, and that kind of decides whether you're strength based, dexterity based, or intellect based. And me, if any of you have followed any of the podcasts or follow me on the outside of the podcast, I've always been a bow dude. If the game has a bow, that's typically what I do first. I just it resonates with me. I actually have a bow that I love to shoot. I'm not the greatest at archery, but I love the fundamentals and dynamics behind it, and it intrigues me. So, of course, I picked the background that gives me the whole dexterity and bow and archer, bow and arrow, bow and archer, bow and arrow, and it's actually pretty cool. You so far, I'm going through the story. You can pick up your different weapons. You can dual wield an axe and a sword if you want, and then you can weapon swap to a bow, or you can use the axe and a shield, or a sword and a shield, and depending upon your weapon types, it adjusts as to what you can kind of do with them. But so far, it's pretty cool. It's got a little bit of, it's a first person. I think you can change the camera to third person. But it was one of those games I was looking forward to. So to see the bad reviews from it, I was kind of disheartened. But I said, you know what? How many times have you read reviews about a game that were like all you saw was bad, or it says mixed on Steam, and you try it and you love it. It's awesome,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Screw it. It's on the Game Pass. I have the Game Pass now because of my daughter, and I was like, I'm gonna try it. Why not? Right? And so far, I'm having a freaking blast. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm struggling to actually like start PoE 2. Not really, because I'm actually excited for my Smith and Katava build that everybody says Smith and Katava sucks, but we'll see. Needless to say, though, there is a ton of great games out there that I am looking forward to that's coming out, that are still coming out this year and early next year. Megabonk is one I'm definitely looking forward to trying. I'm looking forward to finish playing Avowed. I have Expedition 33 was super fun. I actually want to get back into that.
Did you not finish that?
Dude, that's my problem.
I told you weren't going to finish it.
Well, I told you I wasn't going to either, but I will. It's good enough that it's one of the 6 that's installed. I think that's actually number 6 if we're counting. I think I might have missed one, or I might have, or maybe Avowed was 7. I'm not sure. Anyways, but yeah, Expedition 33 is one that I did install. That way I knew, like, hey, we're going to finish this. But Doom: The Dark Ages, which is also on the Blizzard launcher now, is also on the Game Pass. So with all the controversy of Game Pass, whether you like it or dislike it, there is a lot of good games on the
The controversy is just they raised the price.
Well, yeah, I can't blame them, not even one bit. You can get the base version of it, though. They raised the price because of the console and PC combined. There's a lot of them that you can play on both now, and you can choose between PC or console as well. But
yeah, see, I don't have Game Pass, so all I've heard is people are just unhappy about the price hike. So
I don't blame them, but at the same time, for $20 a month, I can guarantee you,
dude. I think it's $30 a month now.
I think it just bumped up to like 20. It used to be like 12, and then it went up to like 20, if I remember right. But regardless,
it is $30 for the Ultimate Game Pass.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't even have the Ultimate. I think I just have the one that allows Xbox and PC. I don't even know what the big difference between the PC Game Pass and there's the one stage where it's just Game Pass, and then there's like the PC.
So it's Essential is 50 games on Xbox, PC, and supported devices, stream games, including select games you already own, online console multiplayer. And then the $15 is 200 plus games, new Xbox published games join the library within 12 months, Steam games with shorter wait times, including select games you own. And then the Ultimate is 500 new games. New games are on day one, including anything published by Xbox and third party. Includes EA Play, FIFA, Ubisoft, Fortnite, Crew, stream games with the best quality, so forth and so on. Benefits for games like League of Legends and Call of Duty online console multiplayer.
Okay, so they still have the 3 different variants, which obviously, like, that makes sense. You pay a little bit more, you get more options on the version. But I have the middle version, which everything that I just named. If you have the middle version, which is like $20 a month after taxes and all that good stuff, everything that I said was on it is on that version, which is cool. I thought that was really cool to see. Like I actually was this close to installing the Diablo 1, because that was one of my favorites of the franchise, just because the whole concept of going straight down the cathedral, irony of in church going straight to hell, it was a cool philosophy. I loved it, and that's what developed the franchise. So
I love that.
But yeah, so many good games that are out there, and so many more to come. There's a ton of excellent games that are coming. I don't have my list. I had a list of several different games. I'm not going to get into it. That I was going to bring up that are coming out that are are going to be cool. But I'm
That's
locked
for
in.
next week.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
Next week. Oh, yeah, I can't. I'm excited. It's a lot of good, man. It's a lot of good. I can't wait.
So, coming close to the end of the episode, there is one kind of plug that I would like to plug in there. And if you guys are on the visual side, not the auditory side, if you guys are watching on YouTube, we are wearing custom merch. It can and may be adjusted. We have the different logos. His logo on the right arm, my logo on the left arm, with our personal logo on the front, and then the sign that you see right here. I had to do by hand, by the way, because that image didn't cut it very well for the shirt. But I'll just stand up and turn around real quick.
Uh-oh.
But just to show you,
Looks good.
I don't know how
You can see. You can see it well. You can see it well. You can see it good. It's
shining.
good. Yeah, it's good. No, it's good. It's good. It's good. You're good.
I think I got it in there the best I can.
You did. No, it was good. It was good.
So, yeah, if you guys would like to purchase that, I set with Fourth Wall, which is the company I'm going through, you have the ability to set the price. The lowest you can set the price is $3 above manufacturing price, which you don't even really see the $3 because you have to pay fees and stuff and all like that. So I tried to make it as low of a price as humanly possible. With that being said, I do make about $1.25 to $1.50 per shirt, which would help support the different stuff and all the money. Every bit of support anywhere helps. But I didn't do it to make money off of it. I did it because I love it and I love the way it looked, and I wanted merch. Damn it, that's why I did it.
He said I wanted merch.
So with that being said, we'll leave a link to that stuff in the description. Right now we have the shirt and I have a hat that's currently being worked on. The hat is an embroidery. So it'll have, I believe it will just say Loot Farming Gossip across the front, and it'll have LFG XD across the back right here, and it'll have our logos on either side. The logos are the hard part if you know anything about embroidery. So that's being worked on and shifted. So if you order one, just know that it might take a little bit longer for it to get to you while I work out the kinks with getting the images that are being embroidered to the best of the ability. I don't want it to look all jacked up just because I want to get it out there. I want to make sure it looks good. And the quality of the shirt is really good. It's comfy. It's soft.
I was honestly surprised.
Yeah.
It really was. It's also really big. Like, I ordered a size. I'm so used to these shirts running small. So I ordered like a larger size than I would normally wear. And it's just like infinitely too big. So whatever size you would normally get is probably the right size. Don't try to order a size big.
I can confirm that.
Worried.
The size I wear is what I bought, and it fits exactly the way I like. So it is very true to size. It might be a tiny big on the size, but it will probably shrink a little bit. Not too much though. When I washed mine, it didn't shrink very much, but it is. I don't dry it. I don't dry cotton in heat because that's what causes it to shrink the most. So if you do buy it big or a little big and you do need it to shrink, wash it in heat. Wash and dry in heat. Don't mix colors. I won't tell you how to do your laundry. Do your laundry the way you want.
Bro, today I said something about doing layaway and I realized I was old. You just said don't mix colors. My mom used to do laundry and she used to like not put the whites with the colored clothes, and you gotta hang this, otherwise that'll do this, and you gotta put this in the special bag to wash. Oh my God, dude, we're old.
And the sad part is we're young.
I know.
The actual old people are looking at us like, you crazy. You better just shut up and sit down.
I jokingly said I was old today, and the guy asked me how old I was. I said 37. He goes, "Bro, I'm 50," and I was like, "All right, my bad. Like, you got me. My bad. My bad. My bad." Sorry about that.
I made that same joke, but it was a 62 person in chat. No, I was like, my bad. I'm just a teenager.
I don't know any better, Dad. I'm sorry.
Yep. Are you actually? I think you've already answered this question previously. D2R's new season on Friday.
No.
That's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Tomorrow, Friday.
I don't play D2R.
Yeah, I didn't think you did. I didn't think you did, but
I am currently playing Diablo 2, and I am playing a modded version of Diablo 2 called Diablo 2 Annihilus, but no D2R for me.
I find it hard to want to play D2R as well. As great of a game as it was, that's exactly what it is. It was great. But with all the new mods and things that are taking Diablo 2 shell and turning it into current gen action RPGs, it's just hard to even want to. Project Diablo 2 kind of taught me that, and it was
I mean, PD2 runes, like, not runes is in a bad way. Like, Senpai did a great job with it, but like after experiencing like both PD2 and Path of Diablo, like it's impossible to go back to the base game. Even like this Annihilus mod is just absurd, like ridiculously good. Like that, like it would take like a good hour to just talk about like all the crazy stuff. Like, just to give you like a teaser, you can put runes into an item and take them out.
No, dude, that would have been sick.
You could put jewels in an item and take them out. Oh, and you want to hear the other real cool kicker? You can do rune words on any item.
Oh wow! So even you can take uniques if they have the.
I want to say up to rare, so not any item, but like I was playing a trap sin the other day, and I'm playing a fire trap sin, and I found +5 claws that are magic, and I like slapped leaf on it. So like now I've got this like +5 claw with an extra plus to skills on it because I just slapped a rune word into an item that has no business having a rune word in it.
Yeah, I mean that sounds awesome. And the things that all these different places are doing is just great. However, it is just rumor, but there is a potential possibility, as we all say, rumors are all fake. Don't believe them. But there is rumor that D2R is working on new stuff for D2R. So I would definitely go give that a try if that did ever come.
You're more likely to convince people that we landed on the moon, the non-believers, than you are to convince me.
The flat earthers.
Yeah, like there is. I don't. No, that's never happening. I don't believe it's ever coming.
I don't either, but that who knows. Anyways, it has been a great chat. I would definitely love to see what you guys think about the new games that have come out this year and what's going on. And to that, I say that's another episode of Loot Farming and Gossip.
See you later.
Bye.
Static buzz in the midnight air. Travic and Spooker in the gamer's lair. Loot drops falling like a neon rain. Pixel worlds driving us insane. Halo rings light up the fight. Sonic speed blurs through the night. Diablo's demons in the dungeon's breath. Path of Exile paths leading to death. Loot farming gossip in the glow. Digital whispers in the flow. EverQuest dreams keep us alive. Dead by daylight screams collide. Talk of bosses grinding bones. Legends born in gaming zones. Quests that stretch beyond the frame. In this podcast we name the game. song. Spooker's laugh keeps the vibe strong. Travic's words cut through the noise. Gaming tales from girls and boys. The farming gossip in the glow. Digital whispers in the flow. EverQuest streets keep us alive. Dead by daylight screams collide.